Coslett, and this is Cooking Classic. We are here in the studios of the Culinary Arts Institute at Luzerne County Community College in Nanticoke, and I'm with Executive Chef Dave Pembleton, who is also a certified culinary educator, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what do you teach here at the school?
Well, I teach most of the culinary classes, such as meat analysis, fish and seafood, soup and sauces, pantry, cold foods, and occasionally I teach some pastry arts classes as well.
Okay.
So.
I walked by there coming in, and I saw all the big cans or the containers filled with all the chocolates. You almost didn't get me here, you know. I may still be sitting up there if I wasn't on time.
Well, you'll notice that door was locked too. But if you'd like to go in there and sample, we could have that opened up for you.
What do you have on the menu for us today? I told everyone, if I didn't tell you, we're eating dessert first, right?
Right.
So
we're gonna do two simple desserts. First being a strawberries Romanoff, which is a very light, yummy dessert, and the second being a classic bananas Foster.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you say a light dessert, what do you mean by that?
Well,
there's a couple different meanings going on. I don't think it's the one that we're thinking.
Well, it's light and cool and refreshing,
okay.
and it's airy. So,
right.
because of the whipped cream, there's lots of whipped cream.
All right.
So
I can't wait, and we'll be right back. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back. I'm glad you stayed with us. This is Cooking Classic. I'm Kathy Coslett, if you don't know, and you just joined us, and this is Chef Dave Pembleton.
Hello.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm terrific, especially since I know we're eating dessert first this time around, right?
That's right.
On the menu is strawberries Romanoff. Tell me a little bit about this. How did this come about?
It's something I learned when I was a chef out in the industry. And it's just some fresh berries that are nice and ripe and in season. Whipped cream, what could be better? A little bit of rum, a little bit of sugar.
What could be better?
And it's just a nice, light, refreshing, cool dessert. So, and it's very, very easy to make.
Well, he's going to show us how easy it is. He handed a knife to me tonight too.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the tops off the strawberries, like so, and we're just going to slice them up. Maybe 3 or 4 slices per each strawberry. This is kind of fun. And I like the smaller strawberries better.
Why?
I think that they're sweeter. I think they have a better flavor. So, I mean, you can get these gigantic strawberries.
The big ones look so beautiful,
they
though,
do
don't
look,
they?
They do. They look really, really nice. But I have to say, I think the smaller ones that are really red and a little starting to get a little bit soft are probably best for this this purpose. Okay.
And about how many strawberries did you say someone should use, and for how many people?
Well, if we're trying to make 4 of these, maybe 2 pints of strawberries.
Okay.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with having a little bit left over, but I haven't had that problem. I mean, you know, if you plate up one portion, you know, they like it so much that they're looking to have more. This is one of the few times I'd let my kids eat dessert first.
There you go.
Because it actually has some berries and some dairy product. This
really is a dessert that's been around for a long time that people really, really like, isn't it? But I don't know that it's made that much anymore, is it?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, we used it an awful lot when I was out in the industry, especially at the hotel that I worked at, because it looks pretty and it's not something people make every day,
right?
And that kind of thing. So I like using old classics. I think that they're the best, and it's quite simple to make too. It actually just has a few ingredients. So what do you think, Kathy? You think we have enough there?
I'm going to abdicate to you on that one
Okay,
because
we're
I'm not going to destroy the recipe.
Okay. Yes, and it's cooking too. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's a couple too many strawberries or maybe a little bit more whipped cream.
How could you have too much fruit, right?
There you go.
So are you allowed to do what I just did?
What's that?
I just ripped the leaves off
Sure.
to make it easier to
However you can
slice.
get those leaves off there,
Okay.
it's up to you. And you can see I saved 2 beautiful strawberries
Okay,
for the end
for the
because they're
end.
going to be for a garnish. After that, we have a little bit of rum here, all right? If you're making it for kids, you can leave that out if you'd like.
All
We're
right.
going to put
Well,
some sugar.
I mean, does it really matter? You know, people say when you cook with alcohols, you burn it off. What's going to happen with the rum in this?
Well, it's
Nothing.
not going to be cooked off.
Cooked off.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Okay.
If it matters to you.
Yeah. And then we're going to stir this around.
Okay.
So I put a little bit of sugar in there, just regular white sugar. And we're going to stir this around. And we're going to let this, another fancy cooking term called macerate. And what that means is to let the flavors meld together. And as this sits, Kathy, when I make this at home, I would maybe let this sit in the refrigerator for, half an hour to an hour. And what happens is it starts to make like its own little syrup. Okay?
Yeah, you
As
can
you can
actually
see.
see it happening
Right.
now.
It's actually happening
Yeah.
as we stir it here.
It
okay?
really is. It's delicious when
And
you
it
add
makes
that sugar, isn't
makes
it?
the strawberries, a little bit sweeter, and then the strawberries start to, release their juices into the sugar, and it makes like its own little flavored syrup there. Okay? So that part of the dessert is done. Okay? We can just push that to the side. Now it's time to make
The whipped cream.
the whipped cream, and I make fresh whipped cream.
Now, people tend to be a little bit afraid of this, don't they, for some reason?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they do too. And it really isn't that difficult, is it?
No, it just has a couple of ingredients, and I think it's relatively easy to make if you have beaters at home or if you have one of these little KitchenAid mixers. If you have just a whisk, it's a little harder. If I just had a whisk and I didn't have a machine, I might tend not to make this at home.
All right.
So
So there are, as you're doing this, you can tell us, are there some tricks to this, or should we put this in the bowl in the refrigerator first and keep that really cold? Does that help?
well, they say if you get the cream a little bit, at room temperature
Okay.
and the bowl cold, it happens faster.
Okay.
So yeah, I probably would recommend that. That's a good point. Okay.
All
So we
right.
can pour that into the bowl,
Okay.
and it's heavy whipping cream. You have to have
He
that.
loves
I
heavy
do.
cream.
Heavy cream and butter, 2 of my favorites. Okay. Now we're going to press this thing up here, Kathy, and I'm going to turn this on low at first. If you put it on too fast, you might end up wearing some of this whipped cream, and I have had it happen.
But you're not going to do that today, are you?
I will do my best not to let that happen. So at this point in time, we're probably whipping this on about medium speed. Until we start to see the cream thicken up a little. And you can actually visually see that.
Now there's nothing else in here but the heavy cream.
Just the
That's
heavy
it.
cream at this point. Some people put the powdered sugar in right from the beginning, but I think it doesn't make the cream as light then. So I like to put it in
Really?
after it starts
Okay.
to thicken up.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I think
It
there's a little bit of cornstarch in powdered sugar, and I think it
Okay.
starts to make it a little
I
thick.
forgot about that there was a little cornstarch.
Yeah, they put that in there so the sugar doesn't stick together.
Stick together. Now, if someone doesn't want to make their own whipped cream or they don't have the time, they're nervous about it, what can they use? Canned
store-bought?
whipped cream
You could.
or non-dairy whipped topping, whatever.
You could, and I think I mean, I don't think it would be as good,
Good.
but it would be very, very close. Okay. Now, as you can see, as we're doing this, it's starting to thicken up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that.
I can. It's beginning to escape a little bit too.
Right. And it'll probably double in volume.
Yeah, it looks good.
And this is just one of those things. Sometimes with cooking, you just can't rush it along. When it's ready, it's ready.
Okay.
And if you try to rush this along before it's ready, it won't be
There
as good.
goes your dessert, right?
Right, and then
Bye-bye strawberries Romanoff.
Right, and we want to pipe it because we're going to want to pipe some of this whipped cream a little bit later. It won't do what we want it to do.
Huh.
Okay, now see how thick it's getting now?
Yeah, it really is. So now you need to use this immediately when you do this, or can this get put in the refrigerator for a little bit?
You could actually put it in the refrigerator for a few hours if you want
really?
to. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good news.
By the
isn't it?
next day, it would probably starting to weep apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you re-whip it?
Uh,
No?
I don't think it re-whips well.
Okay.
Okay, now if you could hand me that powdered sugar, we're going to put a few tablespoons, maybe 3 or 4. I tend not to like it too sweet. If you like it really sweet, then put 4. I'm going to put about 3.5.
All right.
Okay.
They look like heaping tablespoons
They were.
to me. Yeah, I
Okay.
think
and
so.
me as a chef, I really don't measure things
over
very,
here.
very precisely. Now this is very important. When you start this back up, you have to start very slow. Otherwise, all that powdered sugar that's in there, you know what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes all over. And I've had that happen. And now we're gonna whip it at a higher speed. Now we want it to come what's called stiff peak.
Okay.
You can hear the machine.
Is that the part that concerns people? They don't know really when it's finished?
Yeah,
like
and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you.
Oh, that looks great.
Now we're getting there. If you let it go too far, it kind of gets like butter.
Well, that's not good.
Okay, I think we're there.
Well, that was
now,
pretty fast.
Yeah. Now, if you take one of these spoons, you see? When you can turn it up like that and
okay.
it stays, then you can tell, hey, it's ready. It's ready to go. Or that's a stiffer peak.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, we're going to put this all together and we're going to give it a taste. So don't
Okay.
go away. See you in a minute.
Are you ready? I'm ready to learn the skills that lead to a career, not just a job. I'm ready to earn a degree, not a lot of debt. I'm ready for a powerful degree that will transfer to other colleges and universities. My mind is ready. I'm ready for Luzerne County Community College.
Thanks for staying with us. We're about to finish up the strawberries Romanoff, and you know what that means. Taste test time.
Absolutely.
And true to form, I tasted the whipped cream.
How was it?
It was delicious. It was everything David said it would be. It
really
was
good.
light, airy, cool, crisp, whatever.
Very
So,
good.
Here we go.
Okay, so Kathy, if you can hand me that pastry bag
I
there.
can do that, I think.
Now, if you're going to use a pastry bag, we always kind of like fold them over, like a puppet, over your hand. And this is going to be for the very end, for the garnish. There you go, thank you. Now we're going to take a little bit of that whipped cream, and we're going to place it in here. And that's just going to be
Look how neat you do that.
for our garnish, right? Like
I
so.
know.
And that way, when you pull it back up over your hand, you don't get that whipped cream all over yourself.
Okay.
Okay, like so. And then what you do is you kind of force the whipped cream down into the bottom of the bag. Like so. And now that's ready to go.
There we go.
Okay, so you can set that on the table over there.
All right.
Now we're going to take the rest of our whipped cream, Kath, and we're going to do another thing called folding.
Can you see all the syrup that actually was created as the strawberry
Yeah, it's right in the bottom of that bowl.
in the sugar
Looks great.
and the rum, right?
Throw that somewhere.
Okay.
And then we can just kind of fold this together. And you can see that the syrup and the whipped cream is all mixing kind of together to make this really, really delicious concoction here.
And fold is important too.
Yeah,
you
we
want to
usually-
mix it up and
Right, 'cause
create
if
a mess
you-
here. You want to make this look
Yeah, if you
relatively
fold
nice.
it like I'm doing here, like going around the edge and folding it towards the center, it all kind of gets the same color and all that kind of stuff, okay? And you can see big chunks of those berries
Yes.
and all those types of things, okay? So I don't think I'd want to mix it any more than that,
Okay.
like so. Now if you could hand me, or if you can hand one of those
Spoons.
spoons and bring those glasses down here, Kath.
I can do that.
And maybe you can spoon that mixture into the glass.
Okay. You notice I'm going for all the berries.
I don't
Guess
blame
I
you.
should take a little from over here. Tell me when.
Oh, more.
Oh, more, oh, more. He's very shy.
I think one more spoonful.
Okay,
There
wait,
you
that was
go.
kind of big.
There we go.
How's that?
That's great. Okay.
Do another?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And like I said, we
There we
we made
go.
enough for this recipe, probably to be about 4 people.
Okay.
And I think we put a couple extra berries in
Maybe,
there.
unless it's David and I
That's
eating.
right. We
and
could
then,
probably
I don't
certainly
know,
eat the whole
2 or
bowl,
3.
yeah.
I think that's pretty good, don't
That's
you?
pretty good? Okay,
Here,
great.
we'll give one little one there, even though we're going to
Okay.
get that out of there.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little garnish.
Okay.
And so I picked the best berries for this, and I'm going to make a couple of slices into this berry.
Okay. Here, let me move these so we
Okay.
can make sure everyone can see what you're doing here.
And then after you
Okay.
made those couple of slits, I just press
Oh,
on
look
that
at
berry.
that. Okay.
And it comes up with a nice little garnish for the top of this. And it's not hard to do,
No, that's great.
like so.
Don't push too hard.
There we go. No, if you press too hard, it'll break. Okay, we can bring those back over now, Kath.
I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then we can take our pastry bag
we
with our whipped
go.
cream in it, and we're going
And away
to,
we go. Oh my
like
goodness.
so, like so. And then we're going to seat that strawberry right in
Oh,
there,
How beautiful is that?
like so. And
Simple.
now, okay, like so. And then, many times you see desserts garnished with mint.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a couple of pieces of mint. We're going to seat them into the whipped cream as well.
This is really cute. This
Okay,
is great.
like so. And do you want to take a couple of pieces
Sure.
of that mint on there, and
Do
you can
that.
do that?
Yeah, these are a little large, correct?
No, just 2.
Let's do these.
2 seems to be the one that works the best.
Okay. I'm looking to see where you did that. Not tricking me.
There you go.
There we are.
Beautiful. Excellent
Now.
job. Now for the finishing touch. We're going to take some chocolate. And we're going to take a vegetable peeler. And we're going to put some fresh chocolate curls
Oh, okay.
to go right on the top, like so. See them?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to try that?
Sure.
There you are.
Okay.
Just straight down.
Mine are more curly,
I think
though.
they are.
have a little more personality going on
I
there.
think you did a better job. Absolutely.
Did you hear that? Save that.
There
He
you
said
go.
I did a better job.
I think your curls certainly look better than mine. Okay. All right, and that's that dish called strawberries Romanoff.
And it looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. And we are going to take a break because when we come back, as promised, now we're going to make bananas Foster. See you in a minute. Run, please.
Sure.
Are you looking for a college that's right for you? Luzerne County Community College has more than 100 majors to choose from, convenient class times, and many online courses. Transfer your degree and continue your education at a 4-year college. Work with modern equipment found in the professional world, all at the area's lowest tuition. Make it happen at Luzerne County Community College.
On to our second dessert of the day, an great old standby. I think everybody loves this, and if they don't like to eat it, they love to watch it being made. Bananas Foster, right?
It's a classic dessert. Comes from New Orleans, okay? And it starts with ripe bananas. And you can tell that the bananas are getting ripe as the color yellows, and you see some little brown spots on the bananas because the bananas are sweeter then, okay?
So tell everybody what you were telling me, though, about the bananas, that they really kind of start out as a starch.
Right, they start as a starch when they're green. They have a more of a starch content and a sugar content, and as they ripen off of the vine of where they grow, and then that starch becomes very sweet. And that's when you want to get the banana, right before it starts to get those spots on it.
Okay.
Because once it starts to get the spots, then it starts to get kind of ugly inside. And then for this dish, especially if you're going to cook with it, then they become kind of mushy. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so we're good there. And now classically, Kathy, these bananas would have been cut long ways, but I think they're harder to eat that way. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slice them about this thick, maybe about an inch thick, like so. And that way, if we slice them any thinner, when we applied heat to them in the saute pan, they would start to get mushy and fall apart. So I like to cut them like this, and then the kind of glasses that we're using for this, they'll stay better.
Oh, well,
in
that'll
there.
be better too. You're right. I did see
Exactly.
the glasses that you were
Right.
going to use. That does make more sense because you do quite often see it, especially when this is done tableside, where the bananas are sliced lengthwise and
Right, because classically that's what they do.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start again with butter. Okay, butter or heavy cream, my two favorite friends in the food service industry, and you have to be kind of careful that you don't get the pan too hot at this point, because if you get it too hot at this point, what'll happen is this butter will start to burn. Okay, so we're just going to.
And we don't want that, do we?
No, especially with this dessert, you don't. I mean,
ugly.
sometimes I like butter when it turns brown. It has a different flavor.
Right.
But it's more of a savory flavor than it is for anything sweet. Now that the butter's melted, we can put the brown sugar.
Brown sugar. Here, I'll
Okay?
take that.
Okay. And what we're looking to do is we're just looking to make like a little syrup out of this guy.
Okay.
And you can see as it cooks, that sugar dissolves, and the butter and the sugar together make this syrup. As you can see, it's happening now.
That's great.
Okay?
I like brown sugar.
Yeah, brown sugar,
really
and
good.
there's light brown sugar, there's dark brown sugar.
What did you use?
Depending on your taste, I use dark brown.
Okay. Why?
I like the taste a little bit better. It's a little deeper, a little bit
Okay.
richer. Okay,
Does it have molasses in it? Or
it has a little bit more molasses than light brown sugar. Okay, and then we're going to let that get kind of happy, right? And we're going to get ready to do our thing here with. We have some alcohol, and again, some alcohol for flavor and for effect as well, because this is a flambéed dessert. And what that means is that you're going to set it on fire, sometimes in front of the guests, hopefully not catching your eyelashes on fire. And you need alcohol for that, okay? So once the brown sugar and butter is to this level,
looks good.
we're going to kick the brown sugar and stuff to the side. Now you notice I'm not going to pour this alcohol out of the bottle. Some people
They
I've seen it
do. I've seen that table side, yeah.
and it's really dangerous. Okay, so we're gonna put our booze in here.
Our booze. We're down to booze now. Woo!
Okay. And then people, if you're doing this table side, they go ooh ah, and then you charge.
Ooh, ah.
Then you
I'll
charge them
help
more.
you.
Then you charge them more money. Right. So, and then one thing else we're gonna need here, Kathy, is we're gonna need that little bit of orange juice.
Orange juice.
I temper it with a little bit of orange juice in there. I just really
Listen to
like that
sound.
flavor.
That's incredible. It's not only the way it looks, it sounds fabulous.
And then we're going to cook this.
So now
until
this is pretty sweet. So if we cut up what, 3 bananas here? So
Right.
that would serve how many people?
Probably 6.
Yeah, I was
you
going
know,
to say that's
probably
'cause
6
You don't
people.
need a lot of this.
Or 2 really hungry
Or
people.
do you?
You know?
Or do you?
And then we're going to let that reduce. And as that reduces, Kathy, what'll happen is
Food is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
it is. And as that reduces,
Dessert's very special.
it'll get a little sweeter. It'll get a little
Okay.
bit reduced, and it'll get a little thicker. Okay. Now what we're going to do, now we're to this point, we're going to take our bananas, and we're going to place our bananas in the pan there. If you want to do that,
Just toss
just
them in.
dump them right in.
All right.
Okay? And then they'll start to take on the flavor of the syrup, and the syrup will take on the flavor of the bananas. And the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of cinnamon,
Okay.
just to finish
that
it
looks
off,
Great.
like so. And then I think we're ready to go and scoop our ice cream. So,
Okay. So we're going to take a break, and when you come back, we're going to have the ice cream, and we're just going to move right along.
Are you ready? I'm ready to learn the skills that lead to a career, not just a job. I'm ready to earn a degree, not a lot of debt. I'm ready for a powerful degree that will transfer to other colleges and universities. My mind is ready. I'm ready for Luzerne County Community College.
Okay, it's Bananas Foster time. Here we go. We've been waiting for this now for what, about 10, 15 minutes?
Right. Now you can see that the bananas, we'll baste those with a little bit of that beautiful
So
syrup.
how long did you actually let them cook?
The bananas?
Just to get warm, really?
3 minutes.
Okay, because you don't want them mushy. So
Yeah, because what'll
do this
happen?
and be done with it, right?
What'll happen is after they cook even just a little bit, because there's really nothing fibrous there holding them together, they'll just start to melt. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this, and we're going to spoon some of this mixture right over the top of these.
He's
This is
very
what-
neat. I'd have
This
this
is
all
one
over
of
the
those
glass.
things that you sometimes aren't very neat about.
You're doing a pretty good job. Oh, excuse me. He's doing an excellent
Oh,
job.
thank you. So are you, Kathy. All right. Now you can see we're getting plenty of those bananas in there. And you can see by cutting them that way, they'll be
Oh,
easier
darn.
to eat. Okay. All right
darn.
then. Now, we're going to finish these off, Kathy. You're going to assist me
Whipped
if you
cream
could.
and
I'm going to
mint.
put whipped cream right on the top.
Oh, that tasted really good.
Well, thank you.
I guess, ooh, that tasted really good wasn't the right way to say that, was it?
All right. Okay, a little bit of whipped cream on the top.
And
now,
a
if you
little
can
bit of mint.
put a couple of leaves of mint on, right on the very top. And that's the finished dish called Bananas Foster from New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, you told me you looked up some more information about this recipe, didn't you? Tell us about the history of this.
Yeah, this was made for a gentleman by the name of, last name was Foster, and he was an awning maker. And him and the guy at Brennan's, the guy that owned Brennan's, they were very, very good friends. And he wanted a dessert made, and he named it after that gentleman, and it had to include bananas, and this is what the chef came up with. Chef Paul in his kitchen, that's what he came up with.
All right, well, thank you very much. This was an absolutely delicious day.
Okay.
Strawberries, Romanoff, and Bananas Foster. Doesn't get any better than this. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Cooking Classics.